Good morning, Dan from Rhubarb Car Sales. Welcome back to another video. I thought we'd start this one with just having a chat about the previous video about the Fiesta with that's worth £8,000 retail. So did really well on the views that video. So thanks everyone for commenting and watching the video. Some interesting comments on it. A lot of people saying, no, it's worth £2 grand, £3 grand, £4 grand. Maybe I didn't impress enough why it's worth the £8,000. So the £8,000 is really because one, it's a one owner, titanium, low miles, but the main thing is it's an auto. So the demand at the minute really is for small petrol autos. I was having this chat with somebody at work yesterday. She was talking about high-end BMs, Jags, stuff like that. I said, to be fair, you can pick them up cheap. I said, if you're prepared to foot the running costs of a Jag or a BMW or whatever, there's some good deals to be had. And I gave the example of a Fiesta. I said, I've just got a 12-plate Fiesta in now. I said, it's £8,000. I said, whereas I've got a Cougar in that's top spec, titanium X, panoramic roof, leather seats, heated seats, reverse camera, front and rear sensors. Okay, it's got 92,000 miles, but it's a similar plate. So much more car for the money. That's £5,500. That looks too cheap to me. That's £5,500. And honestly, it's so much car. Yeah, I've actually got somebody looking at that tonight. Be a bit sad to see that go because, like I say, it came from my best friend really, and I've known that car for 10 years. So yeah, kind of attached to that car, and it's been a really nice project to get it back to looking as good as new. We've done a bit of paint on it, we've refurbed the alloys, we've serviced it. And yeah, the guy just walked in the other day with a builder who'd come to fix the leak in roof, and I saw him looking at it. He said, how much is that? Honestly, he loved it straight away. So goes to show that another point I'll come on to in a minute. Every point always comes on to another point. Goes to show that you've got to get out and look at cars. That's what we did when we were kids. Like when my dad needed a new car, he weren't looking on the internet. He went out and he had a look at cars and got a feel for them. You know, I don't think there's any better way of finding a car than getting out and having a look. Which brings me on to, I'll finish that point about the £8,000 retail. So yeah, I was saying to my friend, good deals to be had on sort of high mileage, BMs, Jags, stuff like that. The market is, everybody wants cheap to run, cheap to fix, and everybody wants automatics. Every day I'm getting messages asking, have you got any small petrol autos in? You know, I've been lucky to pick that one up. It was a friend that got in touch saying, Grandma's giving up driving, are you interested in this? So it's just a great thing to have in stock. But I agree with you guys, £8,000 is absolutely ridiculous for a 12-plate Fiesta. But where have I got that figure from? I've not just plucked that figure out of thin air. That figure, it's Auto Trader. Auto Trader dictates the market. It's as simple as that. Just like we buy any car dictates the trade price, if you like, because that's your bottom dollar. When you're getting rid of a car, you all go straight on We Buy Any Car and you have a look. It's worth that, and I know I'm going to get knocked down a little bit when I get there. So that's where I get my trade price from, by looking on We Buy Any Car. And then I look on Auto Trader and see what it's worth retail. Now, you guys can't do that because I've got a dealer portal for Auto Trader, so it gives me the dealer prices. If you guys go on and put that Fiesta Reg in and the mileage, it will only give you a private sale price, which is different to buying from a dealer. Obviously, private sale, sold as seen, higher risk. If you're buying from a dealer, you expect the car to be fully prepped, serviced, MOT'd, warranted. So that's why you pay a little bit more than you would do a private sale. Sorry if my eyes are all over the place. I've not worked out where to look yet. I'm usually behind the camera. I'm trying to get in front of the camera a little bit more, and I've not got used to it yet. I guess I should be looking at the camera there, but I'm kind of looking at myself there, so bear with me. I'm not a natural in front of a camera like Will from Cars on My Drive. You know, he's just natural, isn't he? So I'm still working out where to look really. So bear with me on that one. So yeah, Auto Trader, that dictates the market. They tell me what the car's worth, rightly or wrongly. They take an average of all the cars in the country of that age and mileage, and they tell me what it's worth. We as dealers hate it because it then tells you guys good price, great price, low price, fair price, which then restricts us on prep because, as you know, my cars are prepped as much as I can. But you've got to be careful because then there's other dealers that might just, well, you'd be lucky if they wash the cars. They literally just put the cars on. I've seen dealers put pictures of cars on with the auction. You know, they haven't even photographed them themselves. They've put the auction pictures on. So somebody like me who preps it, has it professionally valeted, refurbs the alloys, puts a warranty on it, Auto Trader will then tell you whether I advertise that at good price, great price, low price. But then it's getting compared against, somebody will look and they'll compare it against a car that's just been washed and sold. So I've always had a bit of a gripe with Auto Trader dictating the prices, but that's what we have to work to. If I put a car on that's fully prepped and I do a cam belt and this, that and the other, I can't go over what Auto Trader tells me it's worth because you won't come and look at it. That's what I used to do. I used to do all the cam belts on the cars, which I had to stop doing because I weren't selling cars because I looked too expensive compared to other dealers who weren't doing the cam belts. So I've had to stop doing the cam belts to make myself competitive, and that's when I've then started selling more cars. Auto Trader's also in a lot of other dealers' videos this week because they've upset dealers who, don't forget, we're paying for 10 cars. I think it's about £1,000 a month to advertise 10 cars on Auto Trader. There's some dealers paying £5,000 and £10,000 a month on their 10,000. You know, imagine paying £5,000 or £10,000 a month just to advertise your cars. And I don't want to say too much on it because I don't fully understand it, but Auto Trader, I believe, have now introduced a dealer system of some sort where a customer can go on and reserve your car and take it off sale without seeing the car. That's my understanding of it. So dealers are coming in on a morning, logging in on the portal, and they've had 5 cars reserved, and yet nobody's called, nobody's rung, nobody's come to see a car, but it's took it off sale. Now, to me, we're paying Auto Trader as a customer to advertise the cars. We're not paying you to run our dealerships for us. That's my understanding of it as it is. Auto Trader shouldn't have the decision of who we deal with. I mean, I pick my customers. I will always pick the easiest person to deal with. You know, I pick and choose my customers. You remember quite a few videos ago, I had a young lad come down who I didn't trust, I didn't have a good feeling about, and I told him to go look elsewhere. I didn't sell him a card even though he wanted to buy it. I just didn't get a good feeling about him. So I will always deal with somebody that, as somebody who comes to buy a car, you want to trust me. I also need to trust, is this a sensible buyer? Is it somebody that I can work with if we get a problem? So that's me having a ramble anyway about the previous video. Let's go through some comments. So Andrew Usher, one of my regular subscribers, you've asked, I've been advised you are better with a high mileage car with good service history than a very low mileage car. What are your thoughts? Again, I come back to a point that I made at the start of the video. Get out and go have a look. I've sold very, very good high mileage cars that have gone out without any problem. And I've I've shown you cars on videos before at auction that are like 15, 20, 25,000 miles and they're absolutely battered. So you've got to judge each car on its own merit, really. I wouldn't get into my head that I'm quite comfortable with either. I would buy a high mileage car like that Cougar that I've just mentioned, 92,000 miles, but it's got excellent service history, long-term ownership. I'd buy that car, no problem. But then you've got the Fiesta with 30,000 miles. Again, I'd buy that car. It's got 30,000 miles on it. It's like new. I think there's good and bad in both. I think there's bad low mileage cars that because generally they are senior drivers towards the end of their driving career that like to find other cars and lampposts and fences to bump into. So a lot of low mileage cars, sometimes you will find all four corners are usually bumped because it's the older end who are starting to lose the driving ability. And high mileage cars, as long as they've got good service history, absolutely fine. Again, I say my hidden gem in there is the Fiat Panda, 99,000 miles. It's got no service history, but it's been serviced because somebody's done the cam belt. When you open the engine, there's a green sticker on it saying the cam belt's been done this year. So if somebody's bothered to do the cam belt this year, they've obviously been bothered to service it. I think it's somebody that's just passed away and the family can't find the service book or paperwork. They've just, dad's passed away, took it down to We Buy Any Car and it's ended up in auction. So it does my head in really when people get really set in the ways of, I wouldn't buy a car without service history, or I wouldn't buy a high mileage car, blah, blah, blah. Get out, go have a look at them, have a drive. If it's what you want, if you fancy it, if it drives right, then go for it. That's how I've always worked. Anyway, I get a gut feeling about cars by just who I'm buying them from as well. So that brings me on to another comment of somebody else in here. Lynn Goddard criticised me for saying, why didn't you test drive the car? You could have used that as a bargaining tool to knock them down a little bit more. Again, I don't just buy the car, I buy from people. So I know that person I was buying from, which is generally how I work. I try and buy from people that I know, people that work with my wife, people that I used to work with. So you know that the car's been looked after. I knew that person, I'd known him a lot of years. I trusted his assessment on it. Again, I didn't even start the car up until I'd handed the money over and came home. And as far as saying that I could have used the knocking suspension and the water pump leaking as a negotiation to knock him down more, I didn't have any motivation to knock him down anymore. That's not how I work. I get cars cheap because I make myself easy to deal with. I turn up, you've told me what you want for it. If you tell me it's too much, if you tell me that if you want £1,000 more than I think it's worth, I'll tell you. And I've done that before, where somebody said, we think it's worth £2,000. And I've said, well, it's worth 900 quid there on We Buy Any Car. And that's before I've looked at it. So I'm happy to give you 900 quid. And then I've gone and bought the car. At night, I think if I can get anything at We Buy Any Car price without knocking people down, then as long as it's not horrendous, there should be enough money to put them problems right. So the Fiesta, again, I asked him what he wanted for it. He said, I've looked on We Buy Any Car, it's worth this, but we know we're going to get knocked down when we get there, so I'm happy with this. So he gave me it, or we agreed a price that was already less than the We Buy Any Car advertised price. So I were happy at that. So I weren't going to knock him down anymore. I knew whatever needed doing, there was enough profit in it to get done. So that's that comment dealt with. Yeah, remember, it's just the other comments and they're just saying 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand, which I've already said, I don't decide the value, Auto Trader does us. So that 8 grand isn't being plucked out of thin air, it's by putting my reg and my mileage into Auto Trader, and that tells me what the car's worth. So yeah, thanks, really good video. I thought it was interesting. I knew exactly what people were going to say. And yeah, it's just, the other point that I'll make is why are autos so in demand? So I would say there's 3 main reasons. So you've got your older end with the failing knees and hips that have always wanted autos because they make them easier to drive. You've then got people that are coming into the country from European countries, African countries, that are used to driving autos, so that's pushed the demand for autos up. But now you've also got young people passing the test in an auto who can't drive manuals. That's what's really pushed the market up. And I think the main reason behind that is, from what I've been told, is that they can get in for their auto test a lot quicker than what they can get in for their manual test. I think there's a 6-month wait for a manual test. Autos we can get straight in, but the problem with that is once you've passed your test, the cars are so much dearer. You know, you could get a 12 plate Fiesta with 30,000 miles on probably for what, 5,000 quid, maybe less, probably 4 to 5,000 quid, whereas the auto's 8,000 quid. So yeah, that's what's pushed the demand for autos up anyway. There might be other reasons, but they're the 3 ones that I can think of. Not much to show you in there. There's nothing new that's come in. We haven't done anything else. Like I say, I've got a test drive on the Cougar tonight, so hopefully I can get the Cougar out of the way. I've got the lady picking up the 107 over the weekend, and hopefully we can get some new cars in next week. So I'll wrap that up for now. I've got Rich coming in Thursday, Friday. We're going to do a separate cleaning video on the Fiesta, so I'll do that as a separate video. And we'll try and get that filmed on Friday. And we've got the Green Corsa to get up for sale as well. So I think he's going to do the Green Corsa Thursday, Fiesta Friday. And we'll get all that out to you. We'll get some new content up and running. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Right, good afternoon. This is another day. So it was Wednesday yesterday when I was ranting on in the office about the last video. So today's Thursday. I've not been here today. I've been at work today, but I have booked. Rich has been down here today, so I've left him a couple of jobs to do, and I'm going to come back down tomorrow. I think we're going to get on with that cleaning video on the Fiesta tomorrow. I did promise the mechanic over at Featherstone that I'm going to drop it off for cam belt and water pump doing, but I've also promised you guys the cleaning video, and I've booked Rich, so I think we're going to have to get on with the cleaning video and then try and drop it off in the afternoon. That's going to make a good video tomorrow. So like I say, I'll do that as a completely separate thing. I'm trying to push these 2 because, as you know, these 2 have hung around a little bit, so I've re-advertised these on Auto Trader today. I could really do with re-photographing the Fiesta because the photographs I'm using are from when we were outside, so it was before we moved into the unit. So I could maybe do with photographing that inside, kind of where the Peugeot is now. Not kind of decided yet. I like the pictures inside. I think the Cougars, I photographed the Cougar inside with them yellow signs behind, and I really liked it. Some people are saying it looks better outside. I agree that the interior pictures look better outside with the lighting, but I've bought a light now, so when I take the interior pictures, I'll use my new lamp that I've bought, which will light the interiors up better. So yeah, I'm going to be down here tomorrow. I'll re-photograph that. And I could do with, I really want to machine polish that Panda as well. I don't know why, because it's nice and clean anyway. It's not going to get any extra interest or anything, but black, it'd look really nice. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's not swirly or anything, but it just looked really nice, machine polished. It'd just finish it off for me. No show on the Cougar last night. But in fairness, he did message me. He said, look, sorry mate, my wife's working late. I love the car. She doesn't like the colour. He said, I've told her it looks nicer in the flesh because the guy's already been, he saw it. So it is one of them cars where you ain't going to search for brown. In your head, you don't think you want brown. Some people just won't have brown because they've got it in their head. But if you physically come and look at the car and see it and drive it and look at the history and the paperwork, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's actually really nice. And he's seen it, and honestly, when he saw it, I saw his neck turn straight away, and he was really drawn to it. He loved it. As I've said to you in the previous videos, if it were in boggy basic spec, I agree with everybody. The brown probably wouldn't look very nice if it was Z-Tech, because it's a titanium X with the big wheels, blacked out windows, silver rails, twin exhaust. I really like it. I think it suits the car. So yeah, them two are on Auto Trader. They're up for sale. That's getting loads of views, 120, 130 views for Mazda. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get something over the weekend on that. I've re-advertised these two today. Hopefully we can get them two moving. And then get the Fiesta and the Corsa up for sale. The Peugeot's going out over the weekend. So I've had Rich down today, as you can see. He's got the Fiesta up on the ramps. I told him to just make a start underneath. So we've said now we've got the ramp, we just need to make more effort of... Obviously, I've always had the cars serviced, I've always had them MOT'd, but me and Rich have never really done his own checks. So, one example, the Citroen C3 that went out, if you remember the, what was it, 03, 04 plate, 21-year-old, that went out to an old dear. She messaged me after a couple of weeks, oh, it feels like the back brake's binding, which in fairness, it's been stood since July. Yeah, we had it out on a good test drive. It also had a good run because she lives 50 minutes away, so it's had a good run to her address. But she said that the back brake's binding, bit of a nightmare with it being 50 minutes away. I said to her, I kind of don't know what you want me to do really. I said, I don't want you driving it back. I didn't want to be spending a day going over there to have a look at it on her drive. I didn't want to be paying recovery costs. So I said, well, you're going to have to take it to a local garage. I said, book it into a local garage and send me the bill, basically. So that's what she's doing. She's got that in at the local garage on Friday. So that could be another couple £100 bill, which, you know, it's just going to wipe that car out, basically. I didn't make a fortune on it. It was only a £1,500 car. But like Rich was saying, he said that's kind of stuff we can stop by doing his own prep, getting underneath the cars a little bit more, doing a little bit more. So just stuff like this, where he's took this, you know, this is what we did on the Citigo. He's took the drums off, rubbed them down, painted them up, inspected the drums. Obviously, he'll free everything off in there that needs freeing off, and just make sure they're okay, that all the cylinders and stuff are working. And then he's just been underneath today and rubbed everything down and undersealed it all. So again, you probably can't see under here. Let me go get my new toy. Let me go get my new torch. I've got a rug now, just to stop some of the wetness getting dragged in. He's obviously took all the wheels off, so as you can see, he's going to finish them two tomorrow. They're the two that he's done. And he's, you know, look how sort of just corroded and rusty they are. Just we've been up in Scotland, in the wetlands. It is going to get 4 new tyres. It needs 4 new tyres, this car, so it will come with 4 new tyres. And I'm going to get a set of new wheel trims as well. I don't have to get one more Ford one and refurb those ones, so it's got a set of original Fords, or just get a set of the ones that I usually put on that I like, that are about 30 quid. So a Ford one, I'm guessing on its own will be 30 quid for one, or I can get a set of the replacement ones for 30 quid. So yeah, it's just having a good look, or letting Rich have a good look and see what else. My mechanic's had a look over it, and he said, apart from the welding, and the 4 tyres and a couple of bulbs, that's all it needs. It's not actually that bad. Well, oh, there we go. So yeah, I've just been underneath today. Like I said, Rich has cleaned it all up, undersealed it all. It just makes it look a bit cleaner and tidier. But all the springs and dampers and stuff are actually okay. Exhaust doesn't look great, but it's obviously serviceable. It'll pass an MOT. It's going to be a break-even car, is this? I'm not going to make money on it, but I just want it to go. Just because it's a break-even car don't mean, you know, I don't want it to be a problem car still. I still want to do the right amount of prep on it, because we've got 4 tyres to put on. What's it owe me? 1,400 quid I think I bought it for. I've got 4 tyres to put on. That's going to be 200 quid. So that'll be 1,600 quid. I've got this welding to do. And we've got a bit of paint on this back bumper and that boot to do. So it's probably, what, 300 quid of paint plus the welding, might be 600 quid. So that's 2,200 plus the service, 2,300 an MOT, 2,340 or whatever. It's probably a 2,495 car. So it's going to, you know, it's going to be a break-even car, but still, I want it to go out right and make sure it doesn't come back. And Rich again has done the same for me on my little 107. So again, this would already sold anyway. We didn't need to do this, but it's been underneath and just tidied it all up underneath. Undersealed it all. Just tidies it all up, makes it last a little bit longer, look a bit cleaner for new customers. But again, we couldn't do that without having a ramp. So yeah, that's as much as I can update you today. I want to get some cars shifted this weekend, so that I can get some new cars in next week. I can probably get 1 or 2 in anyway, even if something doesn't sell this weekend. But I'd like one of the big ones, either the Cougar or the Mazda, to go. Sorry, just my paint man popping in for a catch up. So yeah, and then he's got the Orion back up and running for me. So that's back on the wheels. He's had it fired up today as well. I've not fired it up yet, but he's got the battery on charge. He's put some fuel in it for me, and so the Orion's back up and running, which is nice. So we've just put that to the back here in the heritage collection with the Mondeo. But interestingly, I'm kind of on the lookout. I've got to be careful what I say here because my wife watches. But I'm kind of on the lookout for a Mark 1 Focus, because I think, similar to the Mondeo, this week they've announced they've stopped making a Focus, and what a shame that is, because what a good car Focus has been. Me and my dad had Mark 1 Focuses back in the day. My dad had the Mark 4 Saloon. I had the hatchback. Mine were red with black leather seats, 2-litre gear. I think it was my third car. Must have been about 2000 and... I'm trying to think, it was a Y-Reg, 2001. So I must have bought it about 2006. And, honestly, beautiful car. I remember when they came out, just how we drove, the engines, the dashboard, the suspension setup, just massive, massive leap forward to anything else that were around at the time. So much better than the Astras of the time, and just a massive jump forward from the old Escorts. So yeah, shame they've stopped making the Focus as well as the Fiesta now. I'm guessing we're just pushing everybody into the Pumas, or the electric cars that we're making. I don't know what the electric cars are that we're making. I've there's no interest in them. So yeah, I think if you can get your hands on any low mileage Mark 1 Focuses at the minute, I think they're going to be hot property in sort of 10, 15 years time. So yeah, that's my Ford Heritage collection. Yeah, nothing else to tell you. I'll be back tomorrow when Rich will finish this Fiesta off, and we'll hopefully crack on with the mouldy Fiesta. Right, that's wrapping today up. That's Friday. I'm packing up, I'm going home. The Fiesta's back in. Rich has dried that all off. I've done some machine polishing down that side, and then scratches of 90% come out, 95% come out. That's good because I didn't want to be painting that side of the car. So the only thing we've noticed then that need going, so it's in for service and MOT Monday, and then we'll get it into the paint shop to get that bumper repaired. There's another little blip up there, so we'll do that bumper corner. And then we've noticed it's just started going on the same place as that other blue one that's just gone down to the paint shop. So we sent the blue one down to the paint shop. We'll get this service and MOT Monday, and then we'll go in and get that done. Corsa's just come back, so that needs valeting next week. So the wheels are in motion, we're turning, we're moving, and hopefully we'll see if anything goes over the weekend. Good evening, right, I'm back down here, Saturday tea time. I've just had a test drive. Right, so finished work, I've been at work today, Saturday, finished at 2 o'clock. Get a phone call at 2 o'clock, hi, can we come see a car? Yeah, no problem, sure, which car are you looking at? Oh, not, it says, I've seen the Fiesta on your website, but just looking for a small car, really, just, my son's just passed his test, blah, blah, blah. All right, okay, no problem. I'll be there at 3 o'clock, is that all right? Yeah, no problem, see you at 3 o'clock, great, thanks. So I get here, mentioned the Panda to him as well. I said, there is also a Panda, I said, which, you know, I know the young kids might not go for, but it is a little gem, it drives lovely, really clean and tidy. So they come, sort of have a look at a bit of everything, mentioned the Corsa to them, said, well, I've just got that back, unfortunately that's sold. Could have sold that another 2 times today, annoyingly. So kind of drawn to the Fiesta, that's really the only one for them. Obviously that's out of the price range, and they're 2 big family cars. So, yeah, it's lovely, yeah, really clean and tidy, good service history. I said, yeah, good service history, plenty of invoices for it. I've spent £1,000 on it, doing all the prep. It's had new bottom arms, discs, pads, calipers, new servo. I said it's had all the brakes overhauled. Great, can we go for a spin? Yeah, there you go, there's keys, go for a spin. I'll see you when you get back. So come back, oh yeah, it drives really well. It's lovely. Yeah, it is, yeah. Right, well, we've just started looking, and we've nothing to compare it to, really. Right, okay. I said, well, yeah, okay. So I give him a spiel about the diesel. I said, you do know it's a diesel? And I said, the only thing I will say about the diesel is it needs to be on long runs, explained about the DPF, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, we didn't realise that. I said, yeah, again, I might have talked myself out of a sale, but I'd rather, it's got to be right car to right person. I don't want them ringing me up, you know, taking that away, clogging DPF filter up and then ringing me screaming. But I tell everybody that buys a diesel, it needs running. So I said, right. So I showed him the other Fiesta that I've got in, the other blue one, 5-door one that needs the welding on the sills. I said, I have got this 5-door one coming in. I said, it's just in the body shop at the minute. It will come fully serviced, 4 new tyres. It's the detuned version, so it's for cheaper on the insurance, cheaper tax. I said, and I've got the Corsa. That's, you know, half the mileage, that's 60,000 miles. Just needs valeting. We've just got that back from paint shop. Don't think I've shown you yet. So I just got it back from paint shop yesterday, so it's had the mirror caps and the wheels done. We just need to get that valeted and advertised now. Right, yeah. I said, is any of them any good to you? think they're a bit out of our price range, really. A bit more than we wanted to spend. You know, I said the 2495, that was 2995. I've reduced it to 2495 to clear break even. I said that it's tough. You know, you're going to find it tough finding something at 2495. I said that is a tough market. I said 2995, 3495 is a bit more sensible. But again, I just, you know, you've seen one there at 2495 and you like it and you don't want to buy it. So I've shown you the next two and they're too expensive. It's, anyway, I think they might be back. It's always tough when they come to see you before they've seen what else is out there. I think I'm the first person they've been to. It's always nice when they've been to look at the crap first and then come and go, oh yeah, actually, these are good deals. These are properly prepped. These are nice and clean. So I think they'll be back in all honesty. Give them a week or so. I think they'll wait until I get something else in stock. So yeah, I've just got that going out tomorrow. I know I sold it like 10 days ago or something now, so it seems to have lingered a little while, but it'd be nice to get some money back in the bank for that tomorrow. Just going to give it a quick flick out with a hoover now. It's just got a little bit mucky again. I don't think it needs washing again, and it's too cold to be honest as well. If I wash this tonight, it'll be too cold sat in here. So yeah, could do with something going over the weekend because I want to get fresh stock in. Okay, I've got the Corsa, the Fiesta and the other Fiesta to get up for sale next week, so I have got work on, but I could do with getting some new little bits in. I've been asked for, that's 2 people that have asked me for sort of little 107s today where I ain't got any alternatives in stock. So I need to get some little sort of cheapy first time cars in. And I could just do with, I've got enough money to go to auction on Tuesday, but I also don't want to spend a fortune, leave myself short. I'm just conscious that it's slow time of year now coming up to Christmas, although the people that have messaged me today have been like, for cars for kids for Christmas. So I suppose we've just got to keep plugging on, keep banging the drum really. So yeah, I want to get some fresh bits of stock in, but I'd just be comfortable if either the Cougar or the Mazda went. That would be nice. And rent's due on the 1st of December as well, so I'm keeping that in back of my mind. Right, let's get on. I'll leave it. I won't wrap this video up yet. I'll leave it till tomorrow, see if we sell anything tomorrow, and I'll catch up with you in my next clip. Right guys, it's Sunday morning, little 107's gone, so we've got a space now. Annoyingly with that car, I'd sort of stuck with it since September, didn't have any inquiries on it. I kept putting it on Auto Trader, didn't have anything. Begrudgingly reduced it because it was an excellent car, honestly. The service history, 1 owner, come from a nice postcode, not a mark on it. It was just such a good little car. Couldn't understand why it wasn't going. Didn't get any interest. Anyway, then them nice people came. Didn't hesitate, bought it straight away. Picked it up today, obviously. They put a deposit on it last week. And then all this week, all I've had is inquiries on it. I must have had 6 or 7 different people asking about it. The people who came to drive that Fiesta asked about it yesterday. Somebody else messaged me yesterday, but gone, but all too late. It's gone, and to be fair, they were lovely, lovely people. The lad's first car, he hadn't passed his test yet. He were absolutely beaming, really nice, pleasant young lad. Saying thank you and over the moon with it and all that, which is lovely when people are like that. He were just sat in it. Well, me and his mum did paperwork, so honestly, really, really nice when cars like that go out to nice people. And they were saying they're going to recommend me as well, and took a couple of cards and all that. So hopefully we get some repeat business. Right, I've nothing else booked in today, unless somebody rings. I'm hoping somebody rings for like either a Cougar or the Mazda, but I'm going to wrap this video up now. We'll leave that one. there. Hopefully we'll get to the auction on Tuesday. We'll pick up a couple of new little bits. I need stuff like that. I need them little 107s, Igos, C1s, because that's all I've had inquiries on this week. People buying cars for the kids for Christmas. So these Fiestas and Corsas are just out of their price range on insurance. So I need some little cheapies in. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. As always, keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch up next week.